I am your host, Twiggy Joe, and I am here with Sid Jones. And today we will be discussing philosophies of loyalty. Now, what exactly is loyalty to you, Sid?
Well, it's interesting you asked that question because of everything that's gone down and transpired in the past 48 to 72 hours.
There's been a lot of, for lack of a better term, shitstorming going on recently. I think we should get into that later, though.
Well, no, it ties into this. So, you wanted me on your show here on Twitch that I fucking despise. So, you're going to hear me out. You
Okay.
wanted me here, you got me.
All right, fair enough.
So, here's where I see it. You get different styles, different breeds of loyalty, right? You've got
Mm-hmm.
brand loyalty, which is like, I'm going to purchase Kellogg above all else because they've got cotton candy waffles and nobody else carries cotton candy waffles. So that's brand loyalty. You're providing me something I can't get anywhere else. So it's almost like loyalty by default, right?
Okay.
Then you've got loyalty where it's like, well, I'm loyal to this brand of motorcycle because they've never let me down. They've never disappointed me. So you've got a product that backs you. There's a reason you're loyal to that product and that brand, right? The Sid
Right.
Jones Network being a brand, The Asylum being a brand, Psychopathic Records being a brand, Magic Ninja Entertainment being a brand. And let me explain something to you. Well, loyalty is what you're seeing what these juggalos are doing. You've seen
Mm-hmm.
it where they're saying, yo, Psychopathic Records above all else.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the Insane Clown Posse is still making money, still in business, and still innovating because they've got loyalty. They've got loyal fans. And you
Mm-hmm.
got your fair weather fans that they come around when it's convenient for them. And we've seen that happen with me in the past 2 days. People like Bob Rocks, Fred Fury. I'm surprised Lil Coy hasn't danced her ass over here yet. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to loyalty, as you see this logo that you see is the same one that is tatted on my fucking forearm. I have given my right arm to the philosophy and to the idea of being a last American rock star, to the last American rock stars themselves. I got cold shouldered by Bizarre. And yet I still bump his music. I still bump some of that old D12 shit and whatnot because I'm a loyal guy. More importantly, to me, it boils down to those that I've believed in and their philosophies. So maybe it's not the person. You know, there's people out there like Tom McDonald. I give a fuck about him, but I love his ideology. There's some music of his that I fucking love. Does that mean I give him my undying loyalty? No. But if someone talks shit on Tom McDonald, would I stand up and defend him? No, of course not. Because I don't have that level of loyalty. That's why I'm saying there's different tiers to it. There's different breeds of loyalty. So
Mm-hmm.
when you ask about the philosophy of loyalty, I've just given you, as Sid Jones always does, a summed up version of what loyalty is, of what something is. And that's what I do. And that's what I'm
Okay.
always going to do. Hence why I'm the greatest of all time. Because I can give you boatloads of information, just a little bit of time. I could actually stop right now, finish my water. I could sign off this and feel like I called it a day. But I got a feeling, Twiggy,
And what's that?
you wanted me on here to discuss loyalty. You could have had Crazy McCormick or Lockside. You could have had Bree. You could have had anybody to discuss loyalty, but you chose Sid Jones.
I
So I'm
did.
going to ask you a question. Why did you pick Sid Jones to discuss loyalty?
Very interesting, actually. Not only, well, first and foremost, you fucking love to talk. I mean, let's face it, you don't shut the fuck up.
And who
But
can get tired of looking at this face, except for like, the no viewers we've got right now?
I chose you, well, basically put because of what's going on here in the last 3 days. But I chose you because of the stories that you have told me and the sacrifices that you have made for other artists. And
Yeah,
you mentioned something very interesting. You said that you gave your right arm to the philosophy of the last American rock stars. You would defend the ideologies of Tom McDonald, but you fucking hate him.
I don't hate him. I just don't give a fuck about like him as a person. Like he doesn't connect with me. Like he's got some dope music or whatever. But like King Gordy, him as a dude that I've met, that I've hung out with, I respect that motherfucker. I respect Bizarre for all the shit that he accomplished. You could say whatever the fuck you want about Bizarre. You could say whatever the fuck you want about Gordy. Fact remains, they earned their fucking rights to say and do whatever the fuck it is they wanted. So when people were kind of like, I miss that old Gordy shit, I'm like, I like this Last American Rockstar shit. I fuck with it because they're able to do anything and everything that they want. And they've proven that. They've proven they can do it with different styles. They've proven it they can do. I could talk about some vile shit. I can make references to how I'm G.G. Allen. Bizarre's going to talk about how he's the pill god, how he's Miles High Davis, and so on, man. It was the most convoluted project and the most confusing project in our lifetime. Because on their mixtape, it was Miles High Davis and Black Soul Rose. And then, Unless American Rockstars, their self-titled album, which came out just months later, it was King Gordy and Bizarre again. I went, that's really confusing. Like, there was no consistency there. But even when you did Miles High Davis and Black Soul Rose, you still knew it was Gordy and Bizarre, right? So, really, you're just kind of, like, nitpicking at that point. Fact is, you've got two Detroit legends working side by side together on a project. And Magic Ninja Entertainment booked them for it, and I got to give them props on that.
Okay. What would you say builds loyalty?
There's a couple of things. As I stated earlier, you got to have a product that does not.
I'm not talking product. Like, what if you want to build a relationship with somebody? And I'm okay. Let's take you for example. If you want to build a relationship with anyone, what steps would you have to take to make that possible?
Well, I wouldn't. I fucking wouldn't. I never have. See, here's the kicker. When I first got involved in everything that you're seeing now, from me being the greatest of all time to the painting behind me to my books that I've published, that I've fucking written, bro. I can't say handwritten. I typed it, but fucking wrote those, designed them, -1 cover, published them, my own. Okay. I got no push. The only time I got a push from any other company was Rocks TV, and you know who pushed it? Me. So really, I've been the only motherfucker pushing my books. The only one, minus my readers, which I give them a salute for that. That's loyalty. I don't go looking for it. I'll never go looking for loyalty.
Very interesting. I'm seeing a contrast here. Not so much a contradiction.
Okay.
How long did you work for Bob Rocks?
Almost 2 years.
How long have you been working for the asylum?
Since June, I want to say.
From the stories that you've told me, give or take, you have been burned numerously throughout your career from the people that you have worked for.
Gee, I wonder why I don't go looking for loyalty.
What about the ones that are loyal to you?
They show up, man. Like, nobody pays attention. Alicia got it today. Shouts out to her. You see this patch right here? Story behind that patch is Darby Crush was sitting there during an interview, and they said, he goes, I know what I want to do and what I want to accomplish, and I know how I'm going to do it, but I need people that are going to help me get to where I need to get to. Okay. And the guy asks, well, Darby, how are you going to find these people? He goes, they show up. They always do.
Yeah, I remember watching that movie. It was very insightful. I'm not going to lie. I can't really get into a lot of punk bands, but I'm not going to sit there and say that punk sucks. Because if it did, it wouldn't exist.
Unlike what Bob Rocks did.
But the philosophy behind the punk mentality is very interesting. Now, and I've seen two different things here. The people that are loyal to you, they show up, as you said. That's dedicated loyalty. Mm-hmm. And now the stuff that you have been doing, these sacrifices, so to speak, it almost seems like slave loyalty.
No. See, what happened is I was doing what I was doing. Back when I was doing Rep That Wicked, the Situation Room, pushing Magic Ninja Entertainment's merchandise, pushing their artists, doing all this shit. The only reason why I ever did it was because of Lars. Had Gordy not been signed to Magic Ninja Entertainment, we would not be having this conversation right now.
Okay.
So really, I got to give them props and a salute to that, because had they had not done that, I don't know where I'd be right now, because that was my point into the music industry. That's when I was like, my whole goal, and I got people to back you on this. I didn't want to work for Twisted. I didn't want to work for GMO. I didn't want to work for Boondocks or Blaze. I didn't want to work for UGA. There was one group I wanted to work for, and that was the Last American Rock Stars. You can talk to Fury. You can talk to Bob. You can talk to all of them. I was a Lars guy. End of story.
Yeah, you were the manager for Gordy at one point, weren't you?
I wasn't his manager. I was his publicist.
Okay.
Bob Rocks was actually his manager. When I got to be on his team, I was like, well, shit, like Gordy's merchandise is up on eBay right now. Like I'm gonna snag some of that shit sealed. Bob calls me and he says, hey, I just want to inform you of something real quick. I says, what's that? He goes, you get those sealed CDs, or you get the sealed CD to Entity, because I didn't have the other ones yet. I just had Entity. And I says, yeah, I got the sealed copy. And he goes, well, I just got informed by Gordy that you have, technically speaking, the masters to Entity. And I went, how the fuck does that work? And he said, because it's a high quality version of it, we can actually use that as long as we download the files and we do it safely, correctly, without any scratches, any marks on it whatsoever. We can keep pushing Entity. We can do a re-release of it, whatever. Now, granted, we would end up with a cease and desist real quick from the label that put out Entity, but it's still Gordy's music. So we had the idea of doing a compilation album.
Okay.
Things like that. And unfortunately, when things went south towards the end there was a lot of mistakes that were made, artists that were dropped from Rockstar Rock's management group, things of that nature. From what I understood, Gordy was one of them. And I didn't know where that left me with Gordy and I, because I'm not going to call the guy and bug him. I've got Gordy's number. I've got Scum's number. I've got Team Money's number. Like, I've got people's numbers, man. I got Tom's number, but I don't use them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not calling Gordy 5 times a day. I'm not calling Tom 5 times a day. I'm not calling Team Money Green 5 times a day. Like, but the thing is, I have them in my phone so that way when they call me, I don't look at my phone and go, it's a spam, or I'm just not going to answer it right now. No, one of those motherfuckers calls me, I jump up off that couch and I answer it. That's loyalty. And that's what it is, man. Loyalty to me doesn't matter how long I'm gone. It doesn't matter if I never do a podcast again, but it's when I show back up that motherfuckers are like, it's on. Same thing with Gordy. If he hit me up right now and said, we got to get to work, where are we headed? End of story. No questions. No, well, where the fuck have you been? No, hey, man, I got all these CDs sitting here, man. No, it's what's up. Now that's loyalty. It's not calling somebody 5 times a day, 10 times a day. That ain't loyalty. As far as I'm concerned, it's a fucking nuisance. But loyalty is answering that motherfucker and being like, what's good? Mm-hmm. Loyalty is, let's get past this. Let's get through this. Let's make this shit happen, regardless. Loyalty is, hey, this motherfucker's busting his ass. I say we give this guy an opportunity. I say we see what this guy's made of.
Another interesting point.
So you want loyalty, man. There's different angles to it. You got the people that are loyal to you and the people that you're loyal to, right? Just because you're loyal to somebody, that doesn't mean they're loyal to you. And you got to, and in this industry especially, you got to realize real fucking quick, you could be down on your hands and knees being a submissive little fucking cunt. And at the end of it, they might not even fucking acknowledge you. They'll probably laugh at you behind closed doors. They'll probably say, he's autistic. He deserved to get slapped in the face. That might happen.
There was a song that this reminded me. Forgive me here. I'm not doing this for any trolling purposes, but it was done by Twisted. If I can remember how it goes. See, even when you win, you've lost because they've forgotten you by the end of the day. Sound familiar?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. You know what I find interesting, man? And I said this flat out straight. I don't know why people got so pissy that I called out 2 motherfuckers that aren't even personalities on a fucking YouTube or on a fucking Facebook or nothing.
Are you talking about the post?
Oh, I'm talking about my tell-all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So these motherfuckers, they get upset over some of the shit that I said, right?
Uh-huh.
They don't even have a fucking podcast, nothing, right? At least that I thought. And then I noticed that they did a roundtable, and then I noticed real quick they changed the name of it. I thought that was rather interesting. Our G Damn podcast, I think is what they call it. And Dustin started showing up on there. Mike started showing up on there a couple of times. I'm thinking to myself, well, if you're going to put yourself on a podcast, you're in my world now. See, you are in my territory. I'm not in yours. So, turnabout's fair play. That's why I said what I said.
Okay.
And what I said, by the way, yeah, I know it put somebody in the middle.
Feel free to paraphrase if you want to.
I got a friend of mine. He got stuck in the middle of this, and the only thing I was ever sorry for was that he did get stuck in the middle of it. However, I did point out the fact that my phone's sitting right there. It's turned on. The only time it was ever turned off was when it was updating yesterday. The only time. You mean to tell me that motherfuckers who don't like me, motherfuckers that are pissed off at me for the shit that I said, couldn't come to me? Do I scare you?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Like, I'm dumbfounded. Why are you going to some other guy and not calling me? Let me explain something to you, Twiggy. If you fucked up, if you hit up my friend Joy and you were saying some foul, fucked up shit, I ain't going to fucking Crazy McCormick to have him chew your ass out. I'm calling you. I don't care what time of day it is. Why? Because I'm a fucking man.
Yes. Yes. If you got something to say, don't fucking go to somebody else and bitch about it.
Look, let me explain something to you, man. When I got slapped in the face all those years ago, it left a mark. Right about here. Right about here, it left a mark, and I never forgot it. And that mark was this. Since people are going to be okay with me getting my ass beat, since people are going to be okay with me with whatever happens because of some shit that I said on a podcast, then it's at that moment, all bets are off, dude. Like, I can go guns blazing whenever I so choose. Nobody called me. Matter of fact, nobody even hit me up except the people on my side, right? Motherfuckers went and called another podcast that it had happened. And I was going around telling people what happened. No, motherfuckers were coming up to me and asking me what went down because Chuck was walking around bragging about it at Attack of the Ninjas. And that was sanctioned by Magic Ninja Entertainment.
We kind of swept that under the rug a little.
Oh, but I didn't. So they thought that just because I let it go then, right? Just because I thought I let it go then, thought that I was just going to be a bitch about it and just not do anything. There's this thing that happens, man. You got a breaking point, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got a breaking point. I hit mine.
Everybody
does. And now all of a sudden everyone wants to get pissy about it. Like, why aren't you coming out and talking about the shit that you did to me? How come I'm constantly the bad guy? More importantly, how come I did fucking interviews upon interviews upon interviews, booked shows, got booked to go down to South Carolina and host a show? How is it I've done all this fucking work? And these same motherfuckers that bitched at me not even take any recognition of that. Because I didn't get anything saying, oh, by the way, so-and-so at this record label said, good job on booking that. Nobody said, hey, you killed it when you did X, Y, Z. That never happened. Ever. And now suddenly I pop off at the mouth and now I've got people's attention. Well, good. I'm glad I have your fucking attention.
It's amazing how it works, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. The reason why I did what I did, like I started off as being the bad guy, right? With the Juggalo scene and shit like that, right? When push came to shove and it came down to the wire, I was told I need to make a face move. I got to do something for the Juggalos. No, I fucking don't. I got to do something for me. And they're like, well, you're always going to be that MNE guy then. You're always going to be the dude with the swastika patch then because nobody understands what it stands for you. The fact that it's guitar necks for Sid Vicious, not for some Nazi fascist regime. Which, by the way, fascists and Nazis are not the same thing for those that are getting confused. But the fact is, that's when I got attention, was with that patch. I've got a Ramones patch from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How much recognition do I get for that? 0, but I'm always remembered for that fucking swastika. Let me explain something to you, dude. I'm going to tell you this straight up. You save a baby from a burning building, you're a hero for a month. You fuck a baby, you're a baby fucker for life.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that actually. People will never remember everything that you have done for them, but they will always remember that one thing that you did not do.
And you know what's dangerous about that? You know what's really dangerous about that?
Enlighten me.
That means they're going to keep expecting it. See, when you've got that kind of mentality, you're coasting at that point where you're saying, hey, now that he's done XYZ, maybe he can do this, and maybe he can do that. Keep feeding him little tasks. Keep him busy. Give him busy work. Just like Bob did. Just like Rock's TV did. And guess what? I got sick of it, man. I was sitting on my couch.
It's not hard to see why.
It was like 30 minutes before my show, that fateful Sunday, right? That fateful Sunday. I'm sitting there. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, am I going to do it? Is today the day I'm going to finally talk about this? The only reason why I talked about it, Twiggy, wasn't just because I was angry. It wasn't just because I was mad or vengeful. To be quite fucking honest, there was nothing left else for me to fucking talk about. End of fucking story. People thought that, oh, he had this plotted, he had this planned. All of a sudden, no, I was just fucking bored. Like, flat out straight, I was fucking bored. God damn it, man. People take that shit way too fucking close to heart. And let me tell you something else, man. These same people with that mentality of like, yeah, he's got loyalty to us. Dude, I've got $1,000 dumped into Magic Ninja Entertainment's merchandise. $1,000. I count it all up. And that's not even counting my plane tickets I took to travel. That's not including none of that shit, dog. I've got a belt right here. You know what's funny? You look right here. You look right there.
That's a nice belt.
It's a Magic Ninja Entertainment logo right there. I got my nameplate on each side. I got fuck what you think on this side. And I've got the Magic Ninja Entertainment logo on the other side. Loyalty. And guess what? I'm still wearing this. You want to know why? Because now what are they going to do? Tell me you can't? They're going to call me? Call me. Please call me. Give me a call. Tell me I can't have this.
I see what you're doing there.
Dude, this is what I don't understand. I'm loyal to one thing in this world. To one thing. And that's me. I'm going to tell you why that is. I was loyal to the Juggalos way back in the day. Loyal to them. Dude, what I did for M&E, I was doing for Psychopathic Records back in the day, man. And again, the Hatchet Man that is on my fucking right arm. Loyalty to that. But I didn't want anything from Psychopathic. You know what's funny, though? No one knows this story, really. I've talked about it. I got a cease and desist from Psychopathic Records back when I was 22, 23 years old. And it was all over a misunderstanding. And they actually had the balls to call me. And I was like, I talked to Jason about it. Jason was there. He was the guy who called me. He was their rep at the time, or their PR guy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And when I explained it to him, he says, yeah, you're going to want to talk to Billy Bill about this. We stayed in touch. Jason and I stayed in touch for the longest time. Sometimes he'd call me just to see how I was doing. He'd say, oh, yeah, we haven't got any updates on it. I thought I'd just call you, see how you're doing. Wow, that's really nice of you. You know, that's respect right there. I'm not sorry that I dumped money into you at that point, because you at least had the nuts to call me. Like, hats off to you, man. And the fact that you actually heard me out, right? He could have just said, this is a cease and desist, stop what you're doing, and then click, hung up the phone. No, he was a man. He was a grown man, and he called, and he hit me up. That's why I was still loyal to Psychopathic Records. Not many people know that story. No, I wasn't slinging, discount Hatchet Man or fucking any of that shit. I was buying their Hatchet Man, and I was putting them on little beaded necklaces.
Rosaries.
Yes, and I was making rosaries with them, with their charms. And Jason was like, well, I don't know if you can do that or not. I'll have to look into that. I'm like, I assure you it's my property. I can do whatever I want with it, because you're still getting your cut.
Once you put the money out to buy a product, it becomes your personal property. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
I wasn't buying any license. I wasn't slinging it, mass producing, and that's where you get in trouble is when you're mass producing. I wasn't mass producing. No way was I mass producing. I don't have the space to mass produce. I didn't have the space then to mass produce. You know what it takes to make those little fucking metal pendants, dude? A fucking lot. A fucking lot.
I have a story here.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I went to a birthday party with a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And she came over to pick me up with a friend of hers.
Mm-hmm.
And we went out to the party. I stayed the night. We got fucked up. And the next day, her friend was long gone. Nowhere to be found.
Typical.
Spent 3 fucking hours trying to get a hold of her. And finally, she answers her phone. Where are you? I need to get back to my house. Oh, I'm an hour and a half away. I can't do it. You told me you were going to take me back home. Sorry, click. I had to walk probably. I'm trying to remember, not exaggerate, but I think anywhere between 10, maybe 13 miles from where I was to meet someone else to pick me up halfway because they did not have the gas to come all the way out.
Okay.
That night, I'm laying in my bed and I'm thinking, why the fuck is it so hard to ask for just a little bit of loyalty? And I heard, you probably don't have one of these, but I heard a little voice inside my head say, that depends on who you're asking.
I got a little voice in my head. It talks to me while I'm scrubbing my balls. It talks to me while I'm cooking my food. It talks to me while I'm sitting there watching a mindless television show. I had that voice that lives right in my head, and that was the voice that said, do it. And I did. We all got that voice, man. It's called a conscience. And let me tell you something. You're talking about that friend that just kind of like fucking bailed and whatnot. See, there's a lot of motherfuckers that do that shit. You know, I've bailed a couple of times on people, you know, and 9 times out of 10, it's out of my control. Very rarely is it that I don't want to do it. Very rarely. I can't think of the last time. I'm sure there's been a time where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do this, so I don't show. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to do something. The least you could do is tell the person.
Right. And I'm never a last minute guy, ever. Like, I was getting ready, you know, for this live stream. Yeah. I was getting ready. I was trying this new hair product and it was not working, but it was a gift from a friend of mine, actually, that I've known for years. Some random thing shows up in my house. I'm like, what the fuck? So I open up the package. I'm like, I didn't order nothing. I open it up. It's fucking new hairstyle and shit. I'm like, oh, it's going to take some getting used to, right? I'm going to have to probably get definitely this cut down before I can use it, but it's a nice product. Smells nice. And it doesn't have the crazy gel effect to it. My friend was telling me, because that other gel like irritates my scalp. He's like, yeah, get something else, and it fucking shows up. You know, and that's somebody I've been friends with for a long, long time. Here's what's weird, man. Here's what's weird. If I ever had to describe my quote unquote fans, it's this: they could buy a patch from me. I'll send them a handwritten letter with a patch. Every order has one. Yep. You know what's fucked up? 5 times now, they've mailed me shit. 5 times now. 5 times they've sent me packages, sent me gifts, sent me bracelets, man. I got my bracelet from Taya. You know, she made me a nice little brass bracelet. On the outside it says Sid Jones. On the inside it says fuck what you think. You know? And that's fucking amazing, dude. But I really hope that the people that have opposed me, the people that have upset me, and the people that have hurt me understand this. They didn't get me here. I did. And it was those motherfuckers like Taya, like you, like my friend Brittany. People like Joy, man. People like Dan O'Dillinger. Tell you a little story about loyalty here in a minute.
Okay.
They all hit me up. They all said, what's good? They all supported me. And they're all very honest with me. Dan's like, I'll be honest, I've never read one of your books. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't fuck around. And I appreciate his honesty. But let me tell you something. Yesterday when I was going through my shit, right? And Candy posted that video. I didn't get calls, fuck you, Sid. I didn't get calls, the fuck's wrong with you? I got calls like, you good? Like, what are we going to get from you next? Like, how are you going to handle this? My boy Sam, always by my side. I know you two don't get along, but let me tell you, that motherfucker, man, 6 years, going on 6 years, that motherfucker's been right there. I get in fights with him all the time. Don't think for a second that he's like my little like henchman. God forbid me and this guy. We've had at it, man. This dude's fucking quit on me a few times. Like this dude's like, this dude's hung up on me, man. But he's still here, having my back. That's fucking loyalty, man.
That's
like
Dano
Dillinger hitting me up and saying, like, I didn't have the balls. I'm actually gonna say this right now. So I'm really sad that no one's here to listen to what I have to say, because I really think that people could have cropped that little bit. They could have just cropped that and they could put it on Juggalo Drama Alert.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have the balls to call Dan and tell him what was going on after the whole debacle with my tell-all and my situation at the asylum, whatever that might be. Okay. I had the balls to tell him because I thought that was going to fuck shit up. And I was like, damn, I don't know how to tell him. Like, I'm going to. I just don't know how to yet. So Dan ended up calling me last night. And he says, hey, man, just wanted to see, like, are you good? Like, everything cool? Like, everything straight, copacetic? And I told him, I'm like, hey, man, listen, just going to give you a heads up. Like, I may no longer be employed at the asylum. He goes, what happened? And I said, oh, it was my tell-all. Apparently, people in the higher up took it out on my boss instead of calling me. And he said, well, that's kind of fucked. And I said, yeah, man. So you know, I thought we were going to sever business ties. I thought that after I'd said that, I really thought that Dan was going to be like, hey, listen, you're too hot for TV right now. Like you're clearly burning bridges right now. You're putting yourself on your own private island by default, not by choice, but by default, by just annihilating everybody around you. You've picked a fight with your own team. So I'm done with you. No, he was like, why don't you come over to Curtain Call? Why don't you come over to, like, why don't you talk to so-and-so from this radio show? Why don't you, like, here, I'll get you in touch with everybody you need.
Yeah. Dan, I got to tell, he really is a one of a kind.
He is. And the fact that he came to me and said, hey, let's do an interview, like, that's a fucking honor. Then it led to some good business between us. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. I hear this all the time. Don't do business with your friends. No. Don't do business with fickle people. And more importantly, don't ever drop the gauntlet. Because it's never come out of my mouth. If you fuck with this person, you can't fuck with me. I've never said that. Ever.
I don't respect that.
I've never said that. I've even told people, I'll do business with people I fucking hate. If the dollar's right, if the money's right, if the project is right, if it's worth it to me, I could do something with somebody I fucking hate. If the money was good, I'd do work with Chuck. If the money was fucking good, if the deal was good, I'd work with him. But the fact of the matter is, nobody thinks that way. And the people that say some shit like that, they don't actually mean it, dude. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The songs might be dope. The music might be dope from some of these artists. I'm going to clue you in on something to you and the no viewers we've got right here on Twitch. So glad I'm no longer on here. That this shit that they say isn't necessarily how they truly feel.
I just got to iterate real quick. We may not have any viewers now, but tomorrow, we're going to get some fucking views, okay? I guarantee you. We're doing a hell of a lot better over here than we are on Facebook. I believe we get paid.
I get paid. Doesn't matter where I go. I'm still going to be Sid Jones. I'm still going to make my money. I believe there's a book coming out Monday called Malum Paradisum.
Oh, is there? That's interesting because I believe that a single had just dropped, about a month ago? And there's another one coming out in February.
So you're doing fine wherever it is you go, right?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so you don't need Twitch. You could pick either Facebook or Twitch, right?
Well, again, I get paid from Twitch, so.
I know you get paid from Twitch.
I gotta go where the money is, man.
Yep, but I'm going to remind Crazy McCormick of one thing. I think he's forgotten. I think he's maybe been sipping a couple of bubblers. Maybe he's been, I don't know, doing too many lines of blow. I don't know what it is, but I think he lost his damn mind when he forgot that it's my name that he's under. I think for some reason, like I got Bell here that says Sid Jones. I got patches that say Sid Jones. I got books that say Sid Jones.
Yeah, but you're forgetting one thing, though, there, boy. Minus that fucking Stegosaurus little look you got going there. I'm Twiggy fucking Dro.
That's cute. That's really cute. That's adorable, Twiggy. That's adorable. So I just want to let you know, I appreciate the fact you're Twiggy Dro. When you have a Twiggy Dro network, you let me know. And I'll show you some love and some, some loyalty. But I just want you to know. I just want you to know. No matter what happens, I'm going to do a special episode just for my team. Just for my team. It'll be over on Facebook, of course, because, I actually like it when people tune into my shows. So I'm just going to say this, that I'm doing a little Christmas episode. So everyone on the team.
Hey, I am too. What is Quiggity?
Yeah, everyone's gonna get a few gifts from Sid Jones. Show my appreciation for the work they put in this.
This is Sid Jones Network. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's a Sid Jones Network, and it's what we're doing a Sid Jones Christmas. I mean, look around you, man. Like, look around my room. Look at me. Everything around me is Sid Jones. I eat, sleep, drink, piss, and shit Sid Jones.
Well, I really would hope you don't eat Sid Jones, because that would be self-cannibalism.
Right. I guess you don't understand the. That's okay. That's okay. It's a lot to consume. I know. So
you get back on track here. So
I mean, why the fuck? I mean, I would hate for our no viewers to be upset by that. Like, if I go live, I like it when I can interact with at least one person. If it was one person live, I'd be happy. But
well, think about this for a second. There was this one guy that I've known since I was 14 years old. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
First day I met him, he was a complete fucking dick to me. But we went back and forth just like me and you do, Sid.
Mm-hmm.
I knew this guy. He had my back every single time I turned around, and I never asked him for it. He started showing me all this fucking love, and I'm thinking, why are you doing this? Why the hell are you showing me love? I've done nothing for you, and it's just that's what you do. That's what he told me. That's what you do.
No.
I never fucking got it. And for 15 years, he's been doing this, and I finally started to pick up on it. Out of everybody that I've been talking to, he's the only one that showed me the respect that I've been asking for. So I started showing it back. I have never had one reason to say anything negative about this guy. Not one. For 15 fucking years to this day. One day, here comes the bitch with the fucking golden coochie. He will not acknowledge me. He will not respond to any of my message. He will not return any of my fucking calls. I'm asking him, what the fuck is your problem?
Look, listen. This is about joy, man. I completely get it. I completely understand. I get it.
No, this ain't about joy, though.
Which means it's not about me. I'm shocked. There's actually something out there that's not about me. I'm not sure how my brain can process that.
After trying so hard of finally get a hold of him, and I asked him, look, I need you to be here. You said you said you're my family. You said you're my boy. I got something going on, and I need you to be here. All right. I may not be able to make it, but if I don't, I will call and give my regards. 2 weeks past that day, nothing. I am fucking furious, fucking livid. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? In one ear and out the other with you. He does not address me directly. His bitch does.
Because she's got his phone. That's why you weren't hearing from the guy.
And I asked him, I told him, look, you fucking cunt. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. I deserve a fucking explanation.
Well, as you know.
Haven't heard a goddamn thing from him since.
All right. I'm going to put this into perspective for you real quick. All right. I'm just going to do this for you real quick. Consider it a favor. So, as you know, our network has been systematically sabotaged and destroyed by...
I wouldn't say destroyed, but...
by a Canadian and a woman. So, women are problems, right? But that's where the loyalty aspect of it comes in. Okay? So, there's people that were loyal to Sid Jones for different reasons. There was women that were loyal to Sid Jones because, you know. But there was no loyalty to the network. They didn't give a fuck about the network. And I had mistaken it. So make no mistake about it. I'm not making that mistake again. End of story. But I did find out, and this is really going to hurt feelings, that when I told people what went down and what upset me and what had hurt me and how long I've been like, harboring this animosity and whatnot and everything that transpired. And these are coming from fans of the music. They said, that's fucked. That is absolutely fucked. Mm-hmm. There's a friend of mine, he's like, I can't even listen to Twisted the same way anymore. No, not because of what of the whole ICP thing, but because of how they treated you. That's loyalty, dude. That's loyalty. So, people don't like the nice Sid Jones. And I've learned this through my analytics. They don't like Sid Jones when he's nice. They don't like Sid Jones when he's upping a song. They don't like it when he's backing an artist. Oh my God, I love this music. They like it when I get excited and like fucking like passionate for sure. But they want to see that excitement, passionate turns towards something I fucking hate and despise. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, there's no shortage of that, right? It's like, what are you angry at? Well, what do you got? That mindset, that mentality. That's why people tune into Sid Jones. They don't tune into Sid Jones to hear him shill merchandise. They were done with that 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck about like, you're going to say something nice about this. Like, dude, I got juggalos. They'll sit there and post on my shit. They'll be like, oh, you're talking shit about ICP. Da-da-da-da. They're writing my DMs and they're like, yo, bro, much love.
Hell yeah, man. I've gotten that a couple of times.
Yeah. Like I said, man, the juggalos, they want a rival, man. We all do. They're human beings. We thrive on conflict. Don't believe me? Yes. You find one movie that I've got. You find one book that I've written and tell me there's no conflict in it. If you find one, I'll quit right now.
DreamWorks, Universal, Lionsgate. Name one fucking movie that doesn't have conflict in it.
Exactly. I was going to say, I'll vacate this belt. You find one. There has to be conflict for a story. This is my story. This is my life. And guess what? I'm not doing anything illegal. Not in this law. What are you going to do? Call the cops? He said some bad things about us. And they're going to show up and they'll be like, well, did you threaten him in this video? I'll be like, no. But if you wouldn't mind giving me a couple of views, could you send it to a couple of police departments so they go take a look at it?
No shit.
But this is what I'm saying, dude. Flat out straight. I understand what my loyalty is. My definition of loyalty, my idea of what loyalty is, means that there is no expectation.
Yes.
I expect nothing at all.
A wise man once told me, do not put anything past anybody because anyone is capable of doing anything at any time. The lower your expectations are for another human being, the less disappointed you will be.
I always keep my expectations low, so I'm never disappointed.
Exactly.
One of the greatest quotes.
Pun. Nice pun.
Dude, I like that. That was in Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
I always keep my standards low, so I'm never disappointed. I love it. Love it. It's excellent. You know what, though, man? I'm going to tell you this straight up. And I mean, people can like it or not, but I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm enjoying promoting my book. I just wrote a letter to everybody yesterday. I hope they enjoyed it. I hope they understand that if they think I'm bad now, wait till Monday. Wait till the book releases. Because here's the thing. When I sat there on that couch and I realized, wait a minute, people like it when that's how I'm going to get people's attention. You hit a hornet's nest. If I'm sitting there being nice to somebody, they're not going to sit there and talk for hours about how I held the door open for somebody. But if I smash that door in somebody's face repeatedly, they'll never forget that sight. I'm like, wait a minute here. I'm doing this all fucked up. I'm doing this all sorts of fucked up.
Yes, exactly. If rain is what you want, give them the fucking Tempest.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. And guess what? They think it was like calculated, whatever. Well, I'm sitting and I'm doing the math. I know basic math, you know. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm about a week away from dropping this book, right? I was 8 days away when I did that tell-all. And I was like, this will boost my sales. Because guess what? People are going to be talking about me. And there's some people out there, they're going to buy the book and wonder, oh, am I in it?
Dun, dun, dun.
Because you know I've put real people in my books.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the stories that you put in there are true stories.
And I'm convinced right now that one of my scenes in Nuclear Winter caused somebody to commit suicide because I've not seen hair or hide of them ever. Since they bought those books, I have not heard from them. I'm like, damn, they're dead. Like, they died. Like, they are gone. Like, they OD'd or some shit. They're never coming back.
We got about 10 minutes left. We have to get down to the bottom line.
Sure.
What defines loyalty? True, real, and raw.
No expectations for another human being.
Does loyalty even exist?
Yeah. Here's the kicker, man. There might be people that are loyal to me. I don't know. Apparently, there's people out there that have my back. I don't even know I don't even know their names, and I feel bad about that. But that's the point where you realize I feel like I've been stagnant, man. I'll be completely honest with you. I feel like I've been stagnant. I'm climbing that ladder. I didn't even know it. I thought I was walking up a never-ending staircase. It was actually like, but as it turns out, there's a slow incline. All right. And I love those motherfuckers. And I'd be loyal to them if I knew who they were and shit like that. Like, I'd be like, yo, I got your back, right? But that's not how it works. They have loyalty from me with no expectations of like, yo, Sid's got to show me mad love, And that's what happens when a lot of your fan bases are music artists. You're going to find a lot of that. They're loyal to you because they feel like, oh, I've got an opportunity here to perform for you, to be signed to your record label. And you got to weed that out, man. You got to weed that shit out. You got to figure out who the people that are down with you. Like, I'm never going to drop a rap album ever. You never have to worry about me trying to compete with G-Mo Ski, Boondocks, Blaze, or ICP, or Twisted, or Hoodoo, or any of those guys. I'm not here to get signed to a record label. It's not what I want to do. All right. If I get signed to a record label, it's because I'm in the fucking office area in my little fucking cubicle. That's what I'm doing. Right. Make no mistake about it. I'm keeping the mohawk and vest. Like, that whole suit and tie shit, they can shove it up their ass. But when it comes to me and me being loyal, it requires one thing, man. It requires one thing and one thing only. Don't fuck with me. If you don't fuck with me, and I don't mean like, I fuck with you. I don't mean on that level. I mean, don't piss me off. Don't turn a blind eye when some shit goes down. And I'm not asking you to jump on a motherfucker. Do you have any idea how many calls I got about people putting it out for Chuck Reeves that they wanted to put a bullet in his head? And I said, no, don't do it. But that's loyalty. The least that could have happened. The people that didn't show me loyalty when that went down, I'm glad that went down. And for years, I was kind of thinking that was the thing that caused me humiliation. No, it taught me something. It showed me who really had my back.
Mm-hmm.
Who really had my back. And let me tell you something. A lot of these underground hip-hop record labels, they're fucking thugs. End of story. That's how they run. That's how they operate. Happy birthday, boy. Type shit. Yeah. That's some thug mentality.
Watch Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, you could sit there and tell me, oh, you can't say those things. You could call me up right now and tell me you're not allowed to talk about that. You fucking did it on a podcast, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. And guess what? To that person that said that shit, I still bump your music.
For everybody born after 1995, watch Straight Outta Compton.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying this straight up. Straight up. And I mean this from the bottom of my love, from the bottom of my heart with all my love, right? If I'm down and out, right? I don't call motherfuckers. I keep to my shit. Right? I'll reach out if it's going to affect somebody else. I'm gonna make a call and be like, yo, this may fuck you up. Right? We did a meeting. We had a council meeting in the middle of the fucking week over this shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was mutual loyalty, my friend. That was you guys being like, yo, we're here for Sid. And that was me being like, yo, and I'm here for you guys. What did I say? Do you remember what I said during that meeting?
You said a couple of things.
One of the things that I said is you need to worry about you. This network was built for you to have your reputation. Do not let my name ruin your reputation. And when there's motherfuckers that come out and say you should have known that MNE hates Sid Jones, and that's from my former boss, you just pretty much
put a nail in the fucking coffin.
Like, you pretty much just said, yeah, there's this issue's been brewing. But I've done nothing. I said something on a podcast. It's the only thing I can trace it back to. Okay, so he hangs out with people that we don't like. Well, I don't know that. And just because somebody's nasty to you and you don't like them,
And that's the thing. No matter who you come across, they are going to be involved with people you will not like. It's inevitable.
Yeah, and you can do the mature thing. You got options, right? Like, let's say I find out you're hanging out with somebody that I know is bad for business, somebody that's going to rip you off and be like, "Hey, it's $200 to get this. Oh, I can get you a feature with this artist for this much, even though it's going to be the same feature from all these other motherfuckers." I would protect you from that. I'd give you a straight up heads up, like, "Yo, don't do it." But even if you did do it, I'm not going to crucify you and nail you to a cross. I'm not going to say, if you do business with this motherfucker, we're done. I'm not going to say, yo, you fuck with this guy, like I can't fuck with you. This is the music business, right? I can't fault you for climbing up on someone else's shoulders to try and get up. I can't fault you for that. If you went right now, if you went right this second and went and did business with Chuck Reeves, not here on this network because my rules, my house. But if you went elsewhere to go and do that, I would have no issues with it at all. Bob Rox did it. I was on Bob Rox's team when he interviewed Chuck Reeves. And he said, "I'm going to interview him." I said, "Don't mention me." And we're cool. We're straight. Because here's the kicker. I don't want you to use my name to get ahead. I don't. I mean, you can. I mean, you're part of the network. You're going to, right?
Well, thank you.
You're not going to pull it out for a press pass and put, like, I'm Twiggy Joe and I work for this organization that may not be mentioned. That's kind of a weird thing to put on a press inquiry. Right? So by default, you'd be using my name to get yourself inside the building and shit like that, right?
Pretty much.
And if I got to put myself on the pyre to get you fucking working and shit, I'll put myself on a pyre on a regular basis. Why? It's good for me. I get more book sales. I get more patch sales. I sell more t-shirts. Like, the more I piss people off, the more money I make, man.
Exactly. People don't like please and thank you.
No, they don't.
Fuck you and die.
No. And here's the kicker, though. I'm going to tell you this. After yesterday, Joy called me because she was having an Xbox 360 issue. You and we talked about this shit. The whole ordeal, right? What I say? Yo, Joy needs help. I can't fucking figure this shit out.
Yeah, I stayed on the phone with her probably hour and a half, 2 hours trying to help her.
That right there solidifies loyalty, man. You might be here on Twitch. You and me, we may not get along, but understand this. We need something. Who else are we going to go to? Think about it. You and me know. Right. And it's like loyalty by default. It's not like even like a friendship, dude. Like, I could have a falling out with a motherfucker. Like my sister, right? We had a falling out 4 years ago now. We had a falling out. And guess what? 3 years. And if she called me right this second, I'd be right there. There's been times when my sister's asked me, "Hey, can you help me move?" "Yeah, what day?" "Well, can you do it from this day to this day?" "I got you. I'll be there." Matter of fact, as soon as I got to her apartment at 8:30 in the morning, I was moving shit over. I shouldn't have been. I almost got her in trouble. They could have said that she violated her lease and booted her and whatnot. I could have severely cost my sister for that. She didn't hold it against me. She's like, "You didn't fucking know. I didn't get in trouble. No harm, no foul."
Right.
But in the music industry, it's different. If I was moving shit over from one building to another, right? And even though things would have been cool, copacetic, whatever, like I shouldn't have been doing that or whatever, they're still going to hang you for it because that's how the industry is, man. But understand this.
It's all about image.
I'm thick-skinned because of Magic Ninja Entertainment. Crop that and put it on Juggalo and Drama Alert. I have thick skin because of them. Make no mistake about it. I am the monster to their Frankenstein.
Perspective. Interesting perspective.
Put that out there for the world to see. I don't care about the rest of this shit. And I want pay, by the way, considering you're getting paid here on Twitch. If you get 75, 100 views, make no mistake about it, it's because you've got Sid Jones, the greatest of all time, sitting here on your fucking show. I at least demand 45 to 65%. We can negotiate.
Yeah, write a contract.
Hold on 1 second. I just need to check something real quick. We're on Twitch, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
I just need to check one thing. I just to make sure that everything's good. Just give me 1 second. Let's see. I gotta look at something real quick.
Don't worry. Take your time.
This is vital information for your everyday life, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's right. Okay, I see it now. It's under the Sid Jones Network.
Okay, so does that mean you're paying me then, right?
Twitch is paying you. Well, apparently they're all paying us, but let me explain something to you. I'm here and I'm Sid Jones, man. I am the greatest of all time. I could sit here and say, yeah, back pay. I could say, I've decided right now that I want to do an album. You're going to give me a free feature. I've decided like right now, I need this. Like you forget, man. I'm an egotistical, maniacal, narcissistic fucking asshole. And you've only seen the beginnings of this. Like this isn't the Sid Jones that people loved when he was at Rocks TV and all this, that, and the other. This isn't the same Sid Jones that was. I mean, you just look at this and you get a completely different idea of me. A while back, you thought he's probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I hold this up. There's just something about it. Could it be that it's got Magic Ninja Entertainment on it and it just darkness and anger and vileness and animosity? Is that what causes it to echo this out, or is the fact that it's just black and silver? But there's something about it that just says he's not the good guy anymore. Like this is not the Sid Jones that I knew back in the day. Like this is something completely different. And let me explain something to you. Malum Paradisum is only the first conclusion. The battle rages on. The question is, which side will you be on? By the end of the book, when you get down to those last pages, and mark my words, when people read that ending, I'm going to know. Not because they're going to write a review, not because they're going to message me or call me, but because I'm going to be outside smoking a cigarette, and off in the distance, I'm going to hear, what the fuck? What the fuck? Son of a... I'm going to hear that. I'm going to be like, they got to the ending of my book.
Well, this has been the episode of Vital Information for Your Everyday Life. Sid Jones, I want to thank you for joining me here. I want to thank the absolutely no live viewers that we have, but everybody that is actually going to view this tomorrow.
Cut it, crop it, find your favorite bits, upload it to Juggalo Drama Alert, and that's an order.
What he said. Stick around, because later tonight, tomorrow morning, whatever, 1 a.m., Crazy McCormick is going to be doing his speed run. Are we still doing Master Debaters?
I got to see what my schedule's at. I got my book coming out Monday, so it's depending on how I'm feeling. It's going to be a great day. I mean, maybe by the time that I'm done with Malum Paradisum, I'll live stream with you, but I'm going to be fucking probably hanging out at one of these little minor clubs that are like where they turn to like little speakeasies around here. I might be getting some drinks in me. Gorgeous women with the big old bodacious titties just dancing upon me. Like maybe I'll get some motorboating going. It'll be fucking excellent.
Okay, well, as long as Sid doesn't get syphilis, tune in Tuesday at 6 o'clock for Master Debaters. Also, every Friday at 9 p.m. Stick around for the Creature Feature Show. This is the Sid Jones Network. Thank you, Sid, for joining in. Thank you for everybody that watches this. I am Twiggy Dro.
I am Sid Jones. And if you ain't down with this, fuck what you think. Much love, guys.